जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय राधा यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदा यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदा यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण जय गौरानिताय 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 जय गौरानिताय गौरानिताय जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमती डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की इस्कॉन फाउंडर आचार्य बीबीटी फाउंडर आचार्य सेवियर ऑफ द होल वर्ल्ड श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी ठाकुर श्रील प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपिका श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिराज गोवर्धन की ब्रजभूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की मथुरापुरी धाम की पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की श्री नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की गंगा मैया की यमुना मैया की भक्ति देवी की श्रीमती तुलसी महारानी की समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री गौरांगी बेंगलुरेश्वर की श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा मैया की श्री श्री गौरनिताय की ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की विश्वरूप महामहोत्सव की शिला प्रभुपाद की निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे ऑल ग्लोरीज टू द assembled devotees all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to the assembled devotees all glories all glories all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga jai ho Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya चक्षुरोन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरोन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजाता सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन् इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5th, Chapter 1st, chapter entitled The Activities of Maharaj Priyavrata. Text number 35. Naivam vidah purushakar urukramasya pumsam tadangrirajasajita षड्गुणानां चित्रं विदुर विगतः सकृदाददीता यन्नामधेयमधुना स जहाति बन्धम् Naivam vidah purushakara urukramasya Pumsam tadangri rajasajita षड्गुणानाम् Chitram vidura vigataha sakrudatadita Yannamadheyamadhuna sajahati bandham Naivam vidah purushakara urukramasya Pumsam tadangri rajasajit षड्गुणानाम् Chitram vidura vigataha sakrudatadita Yannamadheyamadhuna sajahati bandham
Naivam vidha purushakara urukramasya Samtatangri rajasa jita षड्गुणाना Chitram vidura vigata sakradadhita Namadheya madhuna sajahati bandham
Evam vidah purushakara urukramasya Samtadangri rajasajit sargunana Vidura vigata sakradadita Namadheya madhuna sajahati bandham Naivam vidah purushakara urukramasya Samtadangri rajasajita sadgunana Chitram vidura vigata sakradadita Namadheya madhuna sajahati bandham
Matajis Naivam vidah purushakara urukramasya Word word meaning, translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Abhayacharana Arvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Na, not. Evam vidaha, like that. Purusha karaha, personal influence. Urukramasya, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Pumsam, of the devotees. Tat angri, of his lotus feet. Rajasa, by the dust. Jita Shat Gunanam, who have conquered the influence of the 6 kinds of material whips. Chitram, wonderful. Vidura Vigataha, the 5th grade person of the untouchable. Sakrit, only once. Adadita, if he utters. Yat, whose. Namadheyam, holy name. Adhuna, immediately. Saha, he. Jahati, gives up. Bandham, material bondage. Translation. My dear king, a devotee who has taken shelter of the dust from the lotus feet of the Lord can transcend the influence of the 6 material whips, namely hunger, thirst, lamentation, illusion, old age, and death, and he can conquer the mind and 5 senses. However, this is not very wonderful for a pure devotee of the Lord, because even a person beyond the jurisdiction of the 4 castes, in other words, an untouchable, is immediately relieved of bondage to material existence if he utters the holy name of the Lord even once. Purport. Shukdev Goswami was speaking to Maharaj Parikshit about the activities of King Priyavrat, and since the king might have had doubts about these wonderful, uncommon activities, Shukdev Goswami reassured him. My dear king, he said, don't be doubtful about the wonderful activities of Priyavrat. For a devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, everything is possible because the Lord is also known as Urukrama. Urukrama is a name for Lord Vamandev, who performed the wonderful act of occupying the three worlds with three footsteps. Lord Vamandev requested 3 pieces of land from Maharaj Bali, and when Maharaj Bali agreed to grant them, the Lord immediately covered the entire world with 2 footsteps. And for his third step, he placed his foot upon Bali Maharaj's head. Sri Jaydev Goswami says, Chalayasi Vikramane Balim Adbhutavaman Padanakha Nirajanita Jana Pavan Keshavadrita Vamanarupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare. All glories to Lord Keshav, who assumed the form of a dwarf. O Lord of the universe, who takes away everything inauspicious for the devotees, O wonderful Vamandev, you tricked the great demon Bali Maharaj by your steps. The water that touched the nails of your lotus feet when you pierced through the covering of the universe purifies all living entities in the form of the river Ganges. Since the Supreme Lord is all powerful, he can do things that seem wonderful for a common man. Similarly, a devotee who has taken shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord can also do wonderful things unimaginable to a common man by the grace of the dust of those lotus feet. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore teaches us to take shelter of the Lord's lotus feet. Ainanda tanuja kinkaram patitam mam vishame bhavam budhau krupaya tava pada pankaja stitadhuli sadrusham vichintaya. O son of Nanda Maharaj, I am your eternal servant, yet somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet. Lord Chaitanya teaches us to come in touch with the dust of the Lord's lotus feet, for then there will undoubtedly be all success. Because of the material body, every living entity in material existence is always disturbed by Shadaguna, 6 whips: hunger, thirst, lamentation, illusion, invalidity, and death. Furthermore, another Shadaguna are the mind and 5 sense organs. Not to speak of a sanctified devotee, even a Chandala, an outcast, who is untouchable, is immediately freed from material bondage if he utters the holy name of the Lord even once. Sometimes caste Brahmanas argue that unless one changes his body, he cannot be accepted as a Brahman, for since the present body is obtained as a result of past actions, one who has in the past acted as a Brahman takes birth in a Brahman family. Therefore they contend, without such a Brahmanical body, one cannot be accepted as a Brahman. Herein it is said, however, that even Vidura Vigata, a Chandala, a 5th class untouchable, is freed if he utters the holy name even once. Being freed means that he immediately changes his body. Sanatana Goswami confirms this. Yatha kanchana tam yati kamsyam rasavidhanatah tatha diksha vidhanena dvijatvam jayate nrunam. When a person, even though a Chandal, is initiated by a pure devotee into chanting the holy name of the Lord, his body changes as he follows the instructions of the spiritual master. Although one cannot see how his body has changed, we must accept on the grounds of the authoritative statements of the Shastras that he changes his body. This is to be understood without arguments. This verse clearly says, Sajahati bandham. He gives up his material bondage. The body is a symbolic representation of material bondage according to one's karma. Although sometimes we cannot see the gross body changing, chanting the holy name of the Supreme Lord immediately changes the subtle body. And because the subtle body changes, the living entity is immediately freed from material bondage. After all, changes of the gross body are conducted by the subtle body. After the destruction of the gross body, the subtle body takes the living entity from his present gross body to another. In the subtle body, the mind is predominant. And therefore, if one's mind is always absorbed in remembering the activities or the lotus feet of the Lord, he is to be understood to have already changed his present body and become purified. Therefore, it is irrefutable that a Chandal or any fallen or low born person can become a Brahman simply by the method of bona fide initiation. Hare Krishna. Welcome to our morning Srimad Bhagavatam discussion, in which fifth canto, first chapter, is talking about Priyavrat Maharaj activities, who is one of the sons of Swayambhu Manu. Brahma gave birth to Swayambhu Manu, and Swayambhu Manu is the first Manu. He had two sons and three daughters, Uttanpad and Priyavrat. Priyavrat was eldest, and Uttanpad, then Akuti, Dehuti, and Prasuti, three daughters. All five are exalted. So Priyavrat was very much inspired by Brahmachari life, by Narad Muni's association. He left for performing austerities. So the next son, Uttanpad, became king, and his whole dynasty, his son Dhruva Maharaj, and all the way down, that was all described. Prachetas gave birth to Daksha, who went for austerities. So having no one to rule over, Swayambhu Manu was concerned. So he went back to his eldest son, Priyavrat, who had accepted brahmachari life, and requested him to become a king, get married, produce children, etc., which he was not happy about. But then ultimately Brahmaji intervened, and then it was agreed upon that Priyavrat become the king, emperor. So Priyavrat accepted kingdom. He got married. So that all was described, what all, how powerful he was. He went behind sun planet and also made the other part of the globe where sunlight was not possible. He also illuminated that. The chariot he rode upon, by its wheels, the Saptadvipas were created in the Bhumandala. Ours is Jambudvip in the middle, and then Kraunchadvip, Lakshadvip, Shalmalidvip. So these dvipas were not there earlier. They were all formed by the chariot wheels. Very powerful personality, Priyavrat Maharaj. So all that was described, and just previous verse, 34th said, King Priyavrat then gave his daughter Urjaswati in marriage to Shukracharya, who begot in her a daughter named Devayani. That was just an addition, how he married his daughter to Shukracharya, and from them Devayani was born. So that comes later on in 9th canto, the details of that story. But that was mentioned, and this particular verse, 35th verse, is talking about all the earlier descriptions, how powerful he was. So he says here, the glories of Priyavrat Maharaj, and this is like quite astonishing. Nobody can imagine that somebody with the riding of a chariot with the wheels can create dvipas which are so big. Jambudvip itself so big. In the middle of that Sumeru mountain comes, which is 1 lakh yojanas. That means 8 lakh miles high. 84 lakhs above the Bhumandal, and other remaining 64 lakhs below the Bhumandal. And Jambudvip has 9 varshas. The southernmost part has Bharat Varsha. And Bharat Varsha is not this Bharat Desh. Bharat Varsha has 9 khandas. One of them is Sudarshan Khanda, which is our earth, globe. And then other 8 are also there, and surrounding water is there. And whole of Bharat Varsha is separated from the next Varsha by Himalayan mountain range. And that is not this Himalaya, which is only 8 kilometers high. It is 10,000 kilometers long, wide and high. So that is Himalayan mountain separating Bharat Varsha, which has 9 khandas. One of them is this earth globe. So Jambudvip is so big. So imagine double of that. It is surrounded by saltwater ocean. Then next is whatever the dvip, Kraunchadvip or whatever. Then that is double the size of Jambudvip, and then that is surrounded by that much diameter length of another ocean, whatever that, Milk Ocean or whatever. And the next is double of that, and like that it goes on and on and on. So all these tracts of land were formed by just his riding upon chariot, and with the wheels of the chariot he could make this Bhumandal into Saptadvipas. So amazing. So somebody may wonder, is it ever possible? So that's why Shukdev Goswami tells King Parikshit that don't think that this is impossible. Forget about this Priyavrat. Even an untouchable, who is beyond Varnashram, who doesn't fall in Varnashram, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. These are the Varnas in Varnashram. But somebody who is below even Shudra, untouchable, Chandala, a dog eater, even such a person by chanting the holy name of the Lord becomes highly glorious. He is immediately relieved of bondage of material existence. Everybody, even Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, they are also stuck in the repetition of cycle of birth and death. It's not so easy to get out of the cycle of birth and death. But even a Chandal who is below Shudra, he also by chanting the holy name of the Lord can overcome this material bondage. So that is the point Shukdev Goswami is making to Parikshit Maharaj to emphasize the glories of the Lord, the glories of his lotus feet, and the glories of the holy name of the Lord, and glories of anyone who chants the holy name of the Lord, including even Chandala. He can become so exalted that one just can't imagine. So that is the discussion. So 30 to 35, these 6 verses are talking about Priyavrat's wonderful activities. And 35th verse, this word under discussion, is talking about power of shelter of Lord's lotus feet. So in that he says that devotees can transcend influence of 6 material whips. So these whips, Maya has whip. She is the superintendent of this jail in which all of us are prisoners. And she is beating, just like a prisoner would beat a person, the person who is inside, the criminal. So like that we are continuously beaten up by Maya, either by one of the 6, hunger. Sometimes we feel hunger and the whole world is just everything. Where is food? Where is food? Where is food? Some food. We are just looking for some food. Otherwise, mind doesn't function only. Many times, once I was in one school contest, I was telling children how this Bhagavad Gita is very important. Now you may say this is not part of our syllabus. I was telling all kids were there, around 1200 or 2000 children on the school ground, and we had been given mic sound system, and I was addressing them all. So I was telling that this is very important. You may wonder how it is important. So I was telling that many of you may be toppers in your school, in your standard, whichever standard. So you may be topping, that means your intelligence is very high. So you cram the things very nicely, you write them with beautiful handwriting, and examiner is very happy and you score. But just imagine on the day of exam, all those days, your mother does not feed you anything. She doesn't cook, and you go empty stomach to your examination hall. Would you be able to write your exam? All that talent that you have, would you be able to exhibit it? Then they said, no, children are small. No. And there were thousands of them, so they cannot, it will not be heard also. So they just nodded, no. So they could understand, yes, true. I said, so your mother deserves the credit or not? Though she did not come to examination hall, she did not write exam, but unless she fed you, you would not be able to top. So her contribution, though invisible, is very important contribution, without which you just can't crack the exam. So similarly, this Bhagavad Gita knowledge, though may appear to be not part of your syllabus, nothing to be written, but it forms your character. It gives you that tremendous intelligence also with that strong character to be able to understand the world around you very nicely. So they all accept it like that. So likewise, this hunger is one problem. Then thirst is another. Just water is only required, but without water we just can't. Krishna says, Rasoham apsu kaunteya, that water has such a taste when we are thirsty. If you have taken lot of water, 2 liter, then you are taking one more glass, then we may not understand. But when we are very thirsty, we are only looking for water only. Even somebody gives milk, that is not acceptable. Water only is required. And that time you drink just that 1 glass of water. It is so soothing. Rasoham apsu kaunteya. I am the test of water, Krishna says. Krishna is only there in that water, that's why it is so tasty. Especially when we are thirsty, we can realize. Then lamentation, then another time illusion overpowers us, and old age and death. So these 6 whips are there for every living entity, and Maya, who is the superintendent of this prison cell in which we are all prisoners, she beats us with that. So these are the Shad Gunas that are discussed in this verse. And also other ways putting it is mind and 5 sense organs. So these are also the problem. Mind troubles us, and each one of the senses, they also trouble. Even untouchable by uttering once the holy name is immediately relieved of bondage to material existence. That's what he says. Sa jahati bandham. Bandham means material bondage. Jahati means breaks. He gives it up. Means breaks it. He becomes freed from it. So Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in his commentary quotes even Sridhar Swami, who agrees upon alternative version of this last line, especially the last word. Sa jahati bandham, instead of sa jahati tanvam, and elsewhere sa jahati tatvam. So tanvam means the body. So that word, some editions, some places, it is not bandham, it is tanvam. Somewhere else it is tatvam. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is quoting Sridhar Swami, and they are explaining this. So he says, however, one does not see a person immediately give up his body on chanting once. So anybody who chants the holy name of the Lord, his body changes. Our body changes. So one may not grossly perceive, but we can see also many devotees, their photos before they came to ISKCON and their photos now. There is phenomenal change in one sense. Some devotees had such a thick moustache, some Kolhapuri Pailwan kind of, They might be twisting it also, like this curve at the end, like that. But even otherwise, many devotees had moustache, some devotees had beard also. So after coming to ISKCON, moustache and beard is not allowed. Means if one wants to be a sincere follower, he wants to get initiated, no question. They have to, no matter how powerful beard they had, like Shivaji Maharaj. Many Maharashtrians, they keep beard like Shivaji Maharaj, and they are chosen also sometimes in dramas and movies because they have that very appropriate, very decent beard. But that is not allowed. It's all what you call excreta. This is to be shaved, and one should be clean shaved. Otherwise, one is eating and some food is stuck in the beard and mustache, and he is trying to lick it out and all that. So this kind of unhealthy, that is not allowed. So one has to be clean shaved. So if you see their photos those years and their photos now, quite some phenomenal change is there. So in one sense, body has changed also. But apart from that also, body changes. Like one brahmachari somehow for some reason went to an astrologer, palmist, and he saw his palm and he said, "Oh, you will get married and you will have 2 children." And the brahmachari was shocked. That was not his plan, but for whatever reason he showed his hand. So then he was morose hearing that, oh, I may not be able to continue. He came to ashram and somehow he came across Prabhupada, and Prabhupada saw him morose. Prabhupada said, "What happened?" Prabhupada's slogan is chant Hare Krishna and be happy. So this fellow chanting Hare Krishna, why is unhappy, miserable? So Prabhupada asked, he was not ready to tell, but ultimately he told that, Prabhupada, I went to Palmist and he said, I will get married, I will have 2 children. Prabhupada said, don't worry, you just in the kirtan chant Hare Krishna and clap your hands. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. All lines will change. All of you see. If you don't believe, take a photo of your palms and chant Hare Krishna mantra, and again take photo and see it under microscope and see whether change has happened or not. Lines have changed or not. So it is not so quick and that gross that you say, no, lines have not changed. What is Prabhupada saying? No, the effect won't take place. Your lines say that you will get married and you will have children, but that effect won't take place if you continue chanting and if you keep clapping in the kirtan. So all the lines, they will all change. I have been into astrology. Some astrologers are there. I am connected to quite some astrologer devotees, and I have seen horoscope of many devotees, boys and girls, before getting married. So I am involved in their marriages also. So I see, and brahmacharis horoscopes also, of quite some brahmacharis. So I see, because I know in advance only whatever the astrologer, the best of the astrologers, whatever they have told, and I see that is not happening. The bad side is not happening in their life. Like one particular brahmachari, it was told that he will have problem from a woman. I was wondering which woman will have, because he's a brahmachari. Maybe some congregation Mataji will be after him, it seems. Some problem will happen. So all throughout it has not happened. And he's gone so far away from Pune now. So I'm still watching him whether something happens. But so far it has not happened, like that. And another brahmachari also, for him also some severe health issues and some other thing. So there are some health issues were there, but not so far. And many others, boys, girls, brahmacharis, grihasthas. So seeing the, I am not astrologer, but I have seen. So that negative side does not hamper so much. Nor does the positive side also so much. If it is troublesome for spiritual life, that also is not so much there. So it all depends on if one has full faith, just by surrendering to Krishna. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami. I will deliver you from all sinful reactions. So because of our sinful activities in the past, sinful reactions were bound to come to us. But because now we are surrendering to Krishna, though not fully surrendered, so Krishna proportionately will relieve us of sinful reactions also. So that will not happen to you if you have faith. But if you don't have faith, and then if you go for astrology, then mind will get into that. Oh, I am supposed to whatever meet with accident, or I am supposed to have calamity in my life. Then that will definitely happen. His Holiness Bhakti Prem Swami Maharaj also, one brahmachari, Ujjain or somewhere, he wanted to join. But somehow he went to astrologer, and astrologer said, you will get married or whatever. So he went to Maharaj and said, Maharaj, I have decided to marry. Maharaj said, why? So because I showed to astrologer, and he says, it will not be possible for you to be brahmachari, you will get married. And so then I decided. So his mind changed he had more faith in that astrologer's words, and then Maharaj said, okay, you can get married. Like somebody afterwards asked Maharaj, why did you allow? He could have remained brahmachari. Maharaj said he has more faith in astrologer and is convinced, so now we can't help him. So gone. So we should not, we should have faith in the dynamic nature of bhakti and our surrender to Krishna. If we feel it is very static, it just can't be changed, everything remains the same only, my height is the same, my complexion, my face cut, that may not so grossly change. To some extent it may, but otherwise not. But to some extent still it changes. Like one of the brahmacharis he was from America, but he was preaching in Russia. So somewhere he was there in America or somewhere. He was distributing books. In those years, devotees would distribute like anything. In marathon, once he went 4 to 6, he chanted in the morning. 6 o'clock he went for book distribution. Next day morning, 4 o'clock he came back for next day's Mangalarti. So 22 hours he was on book distribution. So in one place he was little tired, so he sat on some desk kind of structure was there, platform. So he sat there. He was just little bit relaxing because standing. So he was little bit sitting. So one person came, stranger came, sat next to him there, and then like this, he said, sir, you are from ISKCON or not? He said, yes, but how do you know? He said, you fellows are so brilliant, so bright-faced, you cannot be hiding yourself anywhere. And then he said, by the way, could you please tell me, don't tell lie, tell me which soap do you use? So then that brahmachari, so then he told that whichever brand, American brand, that particular brand. So that brand was a normal brand. It was not like extraordinary. Like in India also we have some, like, I don't know which one, maybe Santur. We don't use only, we only know Gopika and cowpathy. So 2-3 brands brahmacharis have. Many don't apply soap also because they know water itself is purifying. No, not required only. But he told that brand. Then that person was having strange face. Hey, don't tell lies. I already told you, don't tell lies. That soap I have applied so many times. I did not become bright-faced like you. Tell which brand you ISKCON people use. He said, come on, sir, I am not lying. This is the soap I use. So that person said, okay, forget it. God knows what happens. Why these fellows are so bright-faced. So like that. Even Prabhupada describes in Krishna book or somewhere that these devotees, when they wear saffron clothes and they have beadbag hanging and tilak and shaved head, they appear so beautiful. They appear as if they have descended from Vaikuntha world. Like that. So in one sense we have changed and we are changing and we will change fully. So gross body changes. We have to have full faith. So however, one does not see a person immediately give up his body on chanting once. So that is, karmas that are experienced in the body are destroyed. So to the extent even prarabdha karma is also destroyed. So somebody may say, but he is in the same body. But so what happens? The body, this gross body is a part of prarabdha. A prarabdha means that which is yet not rectified. We will, all of us, sometime or the other in this life, we will get cold. we'll get cough, we will get fever. We have hopefully long life after this day also. So somewhere it will happen. So that is aprarabdha, not yet come. Now we are all okay. There is no sign of cold, cough or fever. But it is going to come 6 months later, 1 year later, 2 years later. So it is not yet manifest. So it will manifest. So prarabdha is this body all of us have got, whatever the height. All of us in the childhood might have tried to be taller, those who are short, those who are thin, they might have tried to be little fat, tried, but then afterwards we did not like that. And then one gets thyroid and then he becomes like anything. And then he's wondering, this is not the way I wanted to be fat. Not through thyroid, I wanted through normal life, normal prasadam. So then he's lamenting what happened. So these things are there. And prarabdha karma is this body. So prarabdha karma will be destroyed. So Krishna should destroy this body. But he will not destroy that body. Because this body is an instrument to serve the Lord, to practice bhakti. So that he will not allow to go away immediately. He will, after we perform bhakti sufficiently and all that, then at one point of time, this last installment of prarabdha karma will go away. So that is how Krishna functions. So there is this tanvam word. So that's how Sridhar Swami explains. Instead of sajahati bandham, sajahati tanvam. And the next is sajahati tatvam. So the tattva is the elements from Mahat Tattva to earth. The 24 elements. From all the way Mahat Tattva, between grosser to earth. The gross and subtle bodies of the jiva are destroyed. But the body remains by the inconceivable influence of the name of the Lord, since there is no alternative. So it is also inconceivable influence of the holy name of the Lord that allows our prarabdha karma body, this tattva, gross body. Earth element is prominent in our body because we are earthly beings. In the aquatics, those who stay in water, water element is more prominent. Similarly, on sun planet, there are millions of living entities. In them, fire element is very prominent. If earth element is very prominent in them, the earth will be burnt there. Sun is so hot. Even sun comes 1, 2, 3 kilometers closer to earth, we all will be burnt to ashes. And what to speak of the beings who are living there. So they have fire element obviously prominent in their body. So they can maintain themselves. So ours are earthly bodies, and then the earthly body has to remain for our continuation of the chanting. So by the influence of the holy name, the body, gross body remains. So now next discussion is about Lord's lotus feet also. Naivam vidaha purushakara urukramasya pumsam tadangri rajasa jitashad gunanam tad angri. Lord's lotus feet, rajasa, by the dust which is situated at the lotus feet of the Lord. By that influence, a devotee who is surrendered to the lotus feet of the Lord can conquer jita, shad gunanam, the 6 whips or 6 mind and 5 senses, that means 6 number. Mind is also a sense, subtle sense. So he can conquer the 6 senses by taking shelter of the dust at the lotus feet of the Lord. So the glories of the Lord's lotus feet are described. So Lord's lotus feet conquer everything, and hence anybody who takes shelter of them, the lotus feet of the Lord, also conquers everything. Devotee will be very victorious in every spiritual endeavor that he takes in. Like Prabhupada we can see. He went to West and in 12 years he circumambulated earth 14 times and established 108 Radha Krishna temples. Now how many of us will take that oath, or I will build 108 temples in 12 years, or even in 120 years we may not be able to build. Not a joke to build one temple. It's an enormous task. But for Prabhupada, that too in the ripe age also, generally time for retirement, whatever one's greatness is seen in his youthful days. That's why government or other companies don't allow old people to continue their jobs. At one point of time they are given retirement. 52, 56, 58, I don't know nowadays what it is. But 58? 60, okay. Because passion is increasing, so the even 60-year-old person says, I am still young, sir. I can do better than youngsters also. The government also sees, okay, this fellow has a lot of passion. So they allow them. But then anyway, 70-year-old man, 80-year-old man, 90-year, he is not able to walk. The government will not tell him to come for job and work. He cannot work. He is not able to eat properly. So that is not allowed. So even in ripe age, devotee can do phenomenal contribution in the service of the Lord, because he has a desire That's why in this Uddhav section also, Uddhav was old when he met Vidur. So there Prabhupada says how devotees don't get affected by old age. His remembrance of the Lord was not thwarted by his old age. He had tears in his eyes when he remembered Krishna. So devotees don't experience old age because we are knowing, hearing and speaking the philosophy. We are not bodies, we are spiritual. So more we say, preach, hear and practice, we will remain young only. The body will have some signs of old age or may not have also. But then the spirit will be always very high, always young. We, in one sense, we can see also everybody feels that they are young only, no matter how much or old they are. So even old people, they have hair dye and they want to look young only because they feel I am young, but somehow what to do, my hair became grey. I don't know whether I ate something wrong, that's why they became grey. But no problem, I'll put hair dye like that. So that spirit is there. Spirit is always young only. So by taking shelter of the Lord, devotee also develops potency because Lord has three features. That is omnipresent. He is sarvatra. In all places he is situated. Then he is sarvagya, omniscient. He knows everything. And he is omnipotent. He is sarvashaktiman. All the powers are there in him. And anybody has any power, he just gets one small glimpse of it, small particle of it. Krishna says, Mama Teja Amsha Sambhavam. That Yadyad Vibhuti Mat Sattvam Srimat Urjitam Evava Tattva Devava Gachatvam Mama Teja Amsha Sambhavam. Whatever great you see anywhere in the creation, some strong man, he can lift some 250 pounds or something like that. So his strength is coming from Krishna only. Balam Balavatam Chaham. I am the strength of the strong. Any intelligent person, Buddhir Buddhimatam Asmi. I am the intelligence of that intelligent person. So anything that is there, all potencies, they are all in Krishna only. In fact, beauty, knowledge, fame, renunciation, all different varieties of things of the creation, whatever are exhibited, they are all originally coming from Krishna only. And Krishna is the repository, he is the reservoir of all of it. That's why he is omnipotent. And surrendering to him leads to getting all those potencies from the Lord. That's why in the last verse of Bhagavad Gita, 1878, Krishna says, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Partho Dhanurdaraha, Tatra Sri Vijayo Bhutir, Dhruva Nitir Matir Mamaha. That wherever Krishna is there, who is the master of all the mystics, Yatra Yogeshwar. Yogis have some mystic potencies, but Krishna is the master of yogis also, and is the master of the mystic powers also. All the powers are with him. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Partha Dhanurdara. Wherever there is greatest archer, Arjun, Tatra Shri, there is opulence. All wealth, opulence will come. Prabhupada went with 40 rupees to America. Now one temple of ISKCON will not be less than 20-30 crore rupees. This is very least count I am telling. That means it's a very simple temple in a kind of small town, something like that. If you see metropolitan cities, there though it will not come down below 60-100 crore. Now Delhi where we have this Rukmini, that is 300 crore rupees, and many others are there. Then TOEP 600 crore rupees. So it is in several hundred crore rupees, one temple, and all together put together, I don't know how much what that figure would be. So much opulence, because Krishna is there, how will Lakshmi not come? Lakshmi is the eternal consort of the Lord. Lakshmi Sahasra Shata Sambrahma Sevyamanam. Millions and trillions of Lakshmis. For Krishna, gopis say, Jayati te dhikam janmana vrajaha Shrayata indira shashvadatrahi Daita drushyata dikshutavakas Tvai bruta sabas Tvam vichinvate. So they're saying that you have appeared in Vrindavan, so goddess of fortune, Lakshmi Devi, Indira, Shashvadatrahi, she is eternally present in Vrindavan because you are eternally in Vrindavan. So Vrindavan's opulence is beyond any compare. Tatra Shri Vijay, victory will be there, all conquest. Everywhere we see Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. There will be all victory for all those who are Sankirtan warriors. If you just chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. So victorious person is like apple of eye, or he is very attractive to everyone. So see, when you go in Harinam Sankirtan, so many people are looking at you. Why? What is so special about you? You are not beauty contest winner. You are not most powerful person in Bangalore. But you have Harinam with you. So many people, maximum attention. Nobody is watching any person so much as you are being watched. Because you are chanting the holy name of the Lord. You go for book distribution, devotees take mic and announce so much unlimited announcement. All other vendors on the street, then they are like, earlier they were also speaking Lord. I have seen this practically because I was bus party in charge, Sankirtan leader. So our announcer, my God, once he starts, when we go and we are setting up the stall, you can see how many vendors are doing all that. And after 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, they're all looking. And some of them also come and, what is that book you are so much shouting about? That give me that one book. He will also take book and go. So devotees are most prominent. Everything else becomes kind of lull, silent and like that. And devotees are most prominent like that. And when they go away again, then other understand something happened. The Vijay victory will be there. Bhuti, extraordinary power. Devotees have such amazing, extraordinary power. We have won so many world records also, Guinness Book of World Record. We defeated or surpassed Narendra Modi also. Many people from many countries simultaneously performing one action of yoga. So we wanted to excel. So we took permission of Narendra Modi ji. Sir, do we have your permission? We want to have more than you. He said, yes, go ahead, no problem. So we had 108 countries devotees from all countries, 108 countries, simultaneously perform in Kolkata in 2016, Prabhupada departure, no, not Prabhupada departure, ISKCON's 58th anniversary, like that, foundational. So then what happened, two devotees, some, what do you call that, iCard something, some problem came. So then they rejected because that's an international level, Guinness Book of World Record. So they said, no, these two are not valid. So 106, but no problem. 106 itself was enough for excelling or surpassing the earlier record. So 106 countries devotees simultaneously performing the devotional activity or whatever that yoga activity. And then we got that Guinness Book of World Record. So, and then some others also. In Pune, I think we got for 1 lakh children participating in which one that, painting competition, like that. So we also got Guinness Book of World Record, like that. So there will be extraordinary power and niti, morality. And devotees are most moral people. They speak truth and all that. So devotees, because they are at the lotus feet of the Lord, they also become victorious. And they are always at the lotus feet of the Lord. We find when Krishna announced that in the battle of Kurukshetra, when the upcoming war is there, I will personally not fight. I will not pick up any weapon. But if you want, you can have me. One side myself will be there, and other side my 1000 powerful Narayani Sena warriors will be there. So Kurus and Pandavas, they may choose accordingly. So Duryodhana, when he heard it, he immediately left for Dwarka. Then after some time, Arjuna also left, but Duryodhana reached first. When he reached, Krishna is Sarvagya, he is omniscient, he knows everything. Duryodhana and Arjuna both are coming. So Krishna lied down on the bed and apparently sleeping. When Duryodhana entered in the chamber of Krishna, bedroom, then he saw Lord is sleeping. So then he was wondering what to do. So he sat near the head of Krishna, thinking that as soon as he opens his eyes, because he is lying like this on the bed, when he opens eyes, he will see Duryodhana who is at his head. So then after some time, Arjuna reached. Then he saw Duryodhana has already reached and he is sitting at the head of Krishna. But then naturally devotee takes shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord. He sat near the lotus feet of Krishna. Now Krishna knows one is sitting near his head, Duryodhana, one is sitting near his feet, Arjuna. So Krishna slowly opened his eyes and he is lying like this. And so he opened his eyes in such a way, first he looked at his feet and at the feet Arjuna was sitting. And then he said, oh Arjuna, when did you come? So then before Arjuna could say anything, immediately Duryodhana shouted from, but I came first, I am here. Then Krishna said, oh, you are here. Okay, Duryodhan. Hello. Okay, so now what? So Duryodhan said, I have come as per your proposal. So then Krishna said, but first I saw Arjun. So let him ask first. But Duryodhan said, but I came first. My claim is first. Krishna said, he is younger also and he came, I saw him first. So his claim is first. And Duryodhan thought, oh my God, all my efforts would be in vain. This fellow will take all Narayana Sena and this useless Krishna will be left for me. So then when Arjun's turn came, so Arjun said, oh Lord, I just don't want anything. I want you to be my chariot driver. That's it. I don't want Narayana Sena. So this, Krishna said, are you sure? And see, I will not be fighting. My Narayana Sena is so powerful. Said, that doesn't matter. I just want you. So then Krishna said, then Duryodhan, so okay, because Arjun wants you now, I am not left with any other choice. Then that Narayana Sena, okay, I'll take Narayana Sena. Inside the heart he was thinking, what a fool Arjun is. He is really fool. What is this useless Krishna? What is the use of this Krishna? He is not going to pick up any weapons. One man, and that too not going to pick up weapons. And very happily he left Dwarka, thinking that Arjun is fool number one. After Arjun, Duryodhan left, Krishna asked, Arey Arjun, what is this? You know I am not going to fight. Why did you ask? He said, oh Lord, not only I hand over the reins of my chariot to you, I hand over the reins, the ropes of my life also. You be my Jivan Sarthi, not just Rath Sarthi, not just chariot driver, be my life driver also. I surrender to you fully. So Krishna is on Arjun's side. How will the Pandavas not win? Prabhupada quotes in first chapter of Bhagavad Gita in purport, Jayastu Pandu Putranam Esham Pakshe Janardana. There will be all victory for Pandu's sons. Jayastu Pandu Putranam Esham Pakshe Janardana. On whose side is Janardhan? And Janardhan has two meanings, Jan, Ardhan. So for Durjan, Krishna is the killer. Ardhan, he will kill them. And for Sajjan, he will deliver them. So one word has two exactly contrary opposite meanings. So Panduputras are highly righteous, dharmic. So they will be victorious. Krishna is on their side and they emerged victorious. Though they were only 7 Akshauhini Sena, whereas Kauravas had 11 Akshauhini Senas. Both were getting 9, but when 2 lakh Akshauhini Sena was being brought by, who was that? Shalya. Then Duryodhan, with his cunningness, he arranged very nice arrangements on the way when Shalya was arriving to Hastinapur side. And then Shalya was very innocent. So then he said, whosoever has made these arrangements, thinking that Yudhishthir Maharaj must have made, because I am going to join my 2 lakh Akshauhini Sena to him. So he just innocently made comment, whosoever has made this arrangement, I will be fighting for him. Immediately Duryodhan came out. He said, Uncle, I am the one who has made all these arrangements. So all you with your Sena has to join me. And Shalya was shocked. Oh, really? This fellow too cunning. He did all this. But then he was helpless, so he joined. So instead of 9 lakh, so this Pandavas had only 7 lakh and 2 lakh Shalyas went here. So 9 lakh plus 2 lakhs. So they got 11 lakhs. 11 lakhs and 7 lakhs. Pandavas were quite outnumbered by Kauravas, but still Pandavas only won. And also Kunti Devi, when she knew that my sons are going and war means it will be only super killing only. So she asked Krishna that I ask you a favor, please bring back all my 5 sons alive. Could I have you that favor from you? Krishna says, yes aunt, my dear aunt, don't worry, I'll bring them back. And though everybody got killed, including even Pandava's 5 sons and Arjun's son Abhimanyu also, and there everybody died, still Krishna brought back all 5 sons, Pandavas, Yudhishthir, Bhim, Arjun, Nakul, Sahadev. When they reached Hastinapur in Kunti's chamber and they all bowed down to Kunti, immediately Kunti Devi was delighted and she said, oh Lord, you are really so truthful. You promised me that you would get back all my 5 sons and you got them back. Thank you. Like that. So Krishna is truthful. So anybody who takes shelter of Krishna's lotus feet, he will be victorious. In Devahuti's prayers, after Kapila Lord gives his teachings to her, in 33rd, last chapter of 3rd canto, 6th verse, she says, Yannamadheya Shravananukirtanat Yat Pravhanad Yat Smaranad Apikvachit Shwadopi Sadhyaha Savanaya Kalpate Kutaspunaste bhagavan darshanam darshanat. So she is saying that what to speak of those who are seeing the Lord face to face. Kutah punaste bhagavan nu darshanat. Even a chandala, a dog eater, somebody who is born in a family in which they eat dog, very low class people. There are people in the world. In fact, there are other kind of people also in all over the world. Singapore and many other places. What not they eat? They eat monkey's head and monkey's blood, and they eat snakes, they eat crocodiles, they eat cockroaches, ants. People, all varieties of people are there. But according to Vedic standards, Shwada, one who eats dog, he is considered very low class. Shwadopi sadhyah samanaya kalpate. Even a dog eater gets at once purified and he can perform Vedic sacrifices if he is chanting yan nama dheya. Here also the word nama dheya comes. Naivam vidaha purushakara urukramasya. I had yan nama dheyam adhuna sa jahati bandam. So if he is chanting the holy name of the Lord, he is hearing about the Lord or Lord's holy name, he is speaking about the Lord. Yat pravarnat, yat smaranat apikochit. Even if he remembers the Lord, he is at once relieved of all the sinful reactions and he becomes qualified Brahman to be able to perform Vedic sacrifices even. And next, 7th verse she says, Aho batashvapacho atogariyan yajjivagre vartate namatobhyam te pustapaste juhu shashnurarya brahmanuchurnama grananti yete. So these are very famous verses, 6th and 7th verses. Devoti is only speaking after hearing from Kapila. So she says, Ahobata Shopacho Atogarian. Again, Shopacha is only under discussion. One who Shopacha. Pacha means digesting also. He eats dog's flesh and is able to digest also. Very low class person and families like that are there in the world. So but even if such a person is born in Chandala or Shopacha or dog eater's family, he is very glorious. Atogariyan. Yat jivagre vartate namatubhyam. Because at the tip of his tongue, there is always the holy name of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Tip of the tongue means, he is continuously chanting. And who can be continuously chanting? Only one who has served the Lord either in previous lives. In one place, in one Purana, Padma Purana or somewhere it is said, 100 lifetimes one who has worshipped the Lord through deity worship. Such a person will have, after 100 lifetimes, holy name always at the tip of his tongue. And elsewhere it is Sahasra word is used, not Shata, it is Sahasra. So after 1000 lifetimes of worshipping deity, lifetimes, then the person will always have holy name at the tip of his tongue. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So much is required, past background. So we should not be very proud thinking, oh, really, I must have had. No, the other thing is, if one gets the mercy of pure devotee spiritual master in pure parampara, so then by the mercy of the spiritual master, if he has faith in the words of the spiritual master, and words of the spiritual master, all the classes he gives and teachings he gives, they all culminate in holy name. And he will always tell, always chant Hare Krishna. As Mahaprabhu would always tell all those whom he came across, always chant holy name and serve Vaishnavas. So it's our great fortune that we have been given that holy name. It's not ordinary thing. It's very, very special. So such a person has undergone, Prabhupada's one disciple, foreigner, he went to Radharaman temple in Vrindavan to take darshan, and with great feelings in his heart, he was standing next to Ramanadev and folded palms and praying. So the Pujari was very happy with his devotion. So then he blessed him. He said, I bless you. He was standing in the altar. Pujari was standing in the altar. This devotee is here and the Pujari is inside. So he said, you are having so much devotion. I bless you. I pray to Radharaman that next lifetime may you be born in India as a Brahmin, so that you can get delivered like that. And the devotee was so happy. My God, Pujari of Ramanadev temple, the caste Goswami, he is standing inside. He has blessed me. I am so fortunate. I will be born next lifetime in India as a Brahmin, in Brahmin family. So he was very happy. He came and somehow he came across Prabhupada, and Prabhupada asked what happened, and then he said, I went to Ramanadev temple in Vrindavan and he blessed me, all that. Then Prabhupada understood, that is not a blessing. That is ignorance. Prabhupada said, you go back to Ramandev temple, meet that pujari and tell him, if you do your Ramandev service very nicely for this life, next lifetime you will be born in America or Western world, and you will become ISKCON devotee, and you will be able to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, and spread the holy name and holy fame of the Lord through distribution of books and all that. And the devotee was surprised. That will be curse or what it is? But Prabhupada was very clear. Not just being born in India in Brahmin family and becoming pujari in temple is glorious. Millions and billions and trillions of times more glorious is to be chanting the holy name and spreading the holy name, giving Krishna Katha and all that. That is far, far superior. That doesn't mean that deity worship is not required. But basically, that is also preaching. In ISKCON, deity worship is mainly for preaching. Though it's a part of Pancharatri ki Vidhi, but we very much are focused on Bhagavat Vidhi, like that. So many people come, oh, ISKCON deity is beautiful. Temples, clean, spick and span. Many people, because other traditional temples, you go, so much of dirt and cleaning doesn't happen. And so many pigeons are passing stool, and dogs also, some temples, dogs will be there. In temple hall, because they are neglected also many temples. Dog will be sitting there, sometimes 5-6 dogs. They have quarrels also among themselves. And no human beings, more dogs there, and less human beings. Deities, the pujari is paid. When he gets money, then also. And then morning he will come once and he'll open, he'll put water there, and like that. Dress remains same, only flower garland will change. So many problems. So that's why it is very important also if we could preach to the pujaris in all Indian temples. Many Vishnu temples are there, Vitthal temple, Ram temple, Vishnu temple, Narayan temple. The pujaris need to be training. In Pune, Radhesham Prabhu had started once for them. Every Monday, we are calling the brahmacharis would call whatever pujaris of few temples, like that 10-15 of them, and give them training as to what the Lord is, how to serve, because that temple will not come under us, nor do we want that. Let them continue, but let them continue with proper understanding and a proper way, like that. Otherwise, they know nothing many times. They are just doing. So knowledge is required. In early stages, even in ISKCON, one of our sannyasis, Prahladananda Swami Maharaj, when he was a brahmachari, so because knew they were foreigners, they didn't know. So he was worshipping Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, huge one, as pujari, like that. But he did not know who they were, so he wrote a letter to Prabhupada. Prabhupada, who are these three logs of woods? One is black, one is yellow, and one is white. So could you please tell me? Prabhupada said the black one is Jagannath, the yellow one is middle, that is their younger sister Subhadra, and the white one is Balram. These three are brothers and sister, and they are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna's manifestation only. For more details, you ask so and so devotee. So he is worshipping the deity, and he doesn't know who are the three logs. One is black, one is yellow. It's like a fancy competition of what it is. Why one is thin, one is two have hands but no fingers, and the middle one has no hands also. What is that exactly? So this was okay because they were from America, and that was early stages of of India, our ISKCON preaching, whatever 68, 69, 1969. Now ISKCON devotees are so much knowledgeable. They know what the deities are, what the all things. But many pujaris in local temples all over India, they don't know. So it is our duty to give them that knowledge. So Krishna stresses on subtle body a lot in Bhagavad Gita. Though the accusation is, the gross body has to change, then only in the next life maybe one will be born as Brahmin, then he could be qualified and all that. But Krishna doesn't focus so much on gross body. If we see in Bhagavad Gita, his focus is lot on subtle body. He says, Manmana bhava mad bhakto, madhyaji mam namaskuru. Manmana. Just think of me with your mind. He says that twice in Bhagavad Gita, 9.34 and 18.65. Then yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tejati ante kalam. Smaran is not done with the eyes or nose. It is done with the mind. So Krishna says, you think of me. Antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram. Here also smaran word comes. Then in the next verse, tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara yuddhacha mayyarpito mano buddhir mamai vaishyasi asamshaya. You offer your mind and intelligence to me. Both are part of subtle body. So Krishna stresses a lot. Mayyeva manadasva mayi buddhim niveshaya nivashasyasi mayyeva ataurdhvam na samshaya. There also mind, intelligence, both. So body changes by following the spiritual master's instructions. So that happens. Even attire changes. We can see our earlier hardly any devotee might have worn dhoti kurta, isn't it? Most of the people wear shirt pant. In that also then jeans, t-shirt, all that. Maybe sometimes some children might have worn kurta pajama on some festival days. But dhoti kurta, most of the people don't wear. But now we are wearing dhoti kurta, sari, tilak, kanthimala. So gross body also has changed to great extent. And subtle body changing anyway. With every chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. By hearing lectures, by reading Prabhupada books, our mind is changing continuously. As and when we engage in any spiritual activity, our mind is transforming to positive side, becoming devotee. And then whatever the state of the mind reflects eventually in the cross body. The other day we were explaining how the people who have dogs in their houses, and the owner many times his face matches with the dog's face also. In the newspaper and all you'll see, they have shown also. So his next body is bound to be dog's body, but forget next life. In this life his human face is only quite resembling a dog's face. Only the ears are not hanging like the dog's ears. But otherwise the face cut is quite becoming like that dog also. So thus we have to know that it is not just gross body, though many orthodox people in India particularly, they will say no, unless you change body, you are not Brahmin or you are not qualified. But Advaita Acharya yesterday we were discussing, who was the topmost Brahmin in whole Navadip, when Shraddha he was performing for his ancestors, and there happened to come Haridas Thakur, who was born in Yavan, Muslim family, and not acceptable by Hindus or Vedic Sanatan followers. But Advaita Acharya gave Shraddha Patra after offering to the Lord. First, Shraddha Patra he offered to Haridas Thakur. And Haridas Thakur, knowing the norms of Indian community, Hindus, Sanatan Dharma, he said, why are you offering me? Offer to Brahmanas. I will take at the end. He says, no, feeding prasadam to you is like feeding 1 crore Brahmanas. That is what Advaita Acharya says, who is the topmost Brahmin. And he made sure that Haridas Thakur is the one who starts first. So he started taking prasadam. Then he served prasadam to other Brahmanas. So Ramanujacharya also had one of his, he had several gurus, 6-7 gurus. One of them was Kanchipurna, who was born in low family, Shudra family. And Ramanujacharya was born in Brahmin family and very scholarly also. But when he was married, staying in Kanchipuram, so that time he invited, that place is there. How many of you had been Kanchipuram? So that house is there, that well is there, where so many pastimes happened. The temple is anyway there. So there he invited his spiritual master, please come to my house. He was not ready, but somehow because of Ramanujacharya's request, he came ultimately. And then he came, but Ramanujacharya, he came when Ramanujacharya was not present. Ramanujacharya was waiting, he is not coming. So he went in searching of Kanchipurna. And that time Kanchipurna came from another side. And his wife, who was not intelligent or scripturally astute, she did not like, what is this low class man? He is invited by my husband for eating at home, but what to do? So she kept in him, gave him food in some place, and after he washed hands, she took all that thing and threw it, so that nobody can get it. And after he went, then she cleaned with gobar and gomutra all thoroughly. And then Kanchipurna left silently. Then after some time Ramanujacharya came and wondering, I invited him, he promised also he would come, why didn't he come? Then he came and at home he asked wife, did he come? He said, yeah, he came. And then did you feed? Yeah. So where are the remnants? Remnants? I threw them. Where? It's gone. Such a low class man. So I threw it. And then I cleaned the place also very nicely. She was telling, so that husband will be very happy. What a clean wife I have got, so auspicious, pure and all that. Ramanujan was so upset. What a nonsense lady you are. To get his remnants only, I had invited him to house. He is such an exalted person. He may be born externally in Shudra family, but he is such a pure devotee. I wanted to take some of his remnants so that I will advance. And you are such a crazy lady. So then he decided I have to give up this family life. So he tricked her eventually. And earlier also she had fought with the wife of Kanchipurna at the well. So while drawing water, some drops of water from her pot fell on this wife of Ramanujacharya's. So she became so upset. How can, don't you see, don't you have eyes? You are low class Shudra woman and we are Brahmanas. So that also came to the ears of Ramanacharya. He had understood, my wife doesn't understand what is devotional service and greatness of devotees. So then eventually he gave up family life and he became a sannyasi, Yatiraj Ramanacharya. So by practicing devotional service, whether gross body appears to be changing or not, it is changing, but more so, subtle body is changing for sure. Mind is changing, intelligence is changing, and false ego is reducing, melting. It will be completely gone, evaporated. Only true ego will remain. The soul's pure characteristics will remain. So one should have faith that by taking shelter of the Krishna's lotus feet or by chanting the holy name, two things are stressed, both. Pancharatric Vedi stresses on worshipping the lotus feet, like we have here. Prabhupada's Guru Puja, his lotus feet are there, we offer flower. This is all part of Pancharatric Vedi, focused on deities and deity worship, festivals, making temples, decorating temples, and having festivals, all that, having nice dresses for the Lord, ornaments for the Lord, garlands for the Lord. This is all part of Pancharatric Vedi, focused on deities, deity worship. And then we have Bhagavat Vedi, focused on reading, hearing, chanting, preaching. So both are required. One Bhagavat Vidi is easier and every time possible. Afternoon Lord will take rest after Bhogarati, 1 o'clock. So 1 to 4:30 p.m., 4 o'clock, we cannot go and disturb him. He's taking rest. So, but then we can do Bhagavat Vidi all time, 24 hours. So today was the epitome of such Bhagavat Vidi. Shukdev Goswami spoke Parikshit Maharaj for 6 days after Radhashtami, Naumi, Dashmi, Ekadashi, Dwadashi, Trayodashi, Chaturdashi, and today is Purnima, Bhadra Purnima. For 7 days, Shukdev Goswami spoke Srimad Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj, and today it culminated. All 12th canto, 13th chapter, last verse, with that he finished, completed. He left, and then Parikshit left his body on Bhadra Purnima. By the end of the day, Takshak came. Anyway, he had gone in Samadhi, and he had already achieved Vaikuntha world. But externally, Takshak came, bit him and released poisonous fire and burned the whole body of Parikshit Maharaj. And all that happened. So today is a very auspicious day when the Bhagavat was culminated by Shukdev Goswami speaking about it. Today is also Vishwarup Mahotsav, when Vishwarup took sannyas, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's elder brother, who from childhood only was mad after Krishna. Every morning he would get up in Yog Pit in his father Jagannath Mishra and mother Sachi Devi's house. Early morning he would get up, go to Ganges, take bath and run to the house of Advaita Acharya, where like we have our morning program, they had their morning program. Aarti, worshipping the Lord, Katha would go on. Vishwarupa, personally, small boy, but he would give such a wonderful class. Advaita Acharya, while worshipping the home deities, he would be in ecstasy. What a wonderful point Vishwarup made. What a devotee. He would be stunned. And then Shachi Mata would make breakfast. She would tell small Nimai, go and get your elder brother, Vishwarup, from Advaita's house. So small Nimai, dressed in 4 directions, means naked, he would go running, and then he would tell, brother, mother is calling for breakfast, please come. And then Vishwarup, both of them would run to house. Vishwarup would take breakfast, again run back to Advaitacharya's house. Whole day in Advaitacharya's house, except for breakfast, lunch, dinner, he would go to Mother Sachi's house. And eventually the parents thought he is becoming too renounced. He has no interest in material life. Let us get him married, then he will stay at home more. So then somehow it came to his ears that they are planning to marry me. He did not want to get entangled in marriage ties. So without anyone's knowledge, in the night only he left the home and he left Navadvip. He went in several places, holy places in India. Eventually went to Pandharpur in Maharashtra. And that's where he took sannyas also. He became Shankararanya Swami, and then he went back to Godhead also, took samadhi in Pandharpur. So today was the day when he took sannyas, and Prabhupada also chose this day for his sannyas. On this day he got sannyas along with his another god brother whose name was Sanatan Prabhu, who was around 94 or 96 years old Prabhu. He was a grihastha and very old. Both of them were given initiation in Keshavji Gaudiya Math, Mathura, on this day, Bhadra Purnima, this day, Vishwarup Sannyas Day, from Bhakti Vigyan Keshav Maharaj, who was disciple, Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Swami Maharaj. He was a disciple of Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur. Earlier, when Prabhupada was Grihastha, Bhaktivinoda Thakur came in his dream and said, take sannyas, take sannyas. So Prabhupada got scared. How my wife is there, 4 children are there. So how will I do that? But it came some 2-3 times. Then Prabhupada went to Bhakti Rakshak Siddhar Swami Maharaj saying that this is what is happening. So he said, you should take sannyas then. He said, you give me sannyas. He said, no, I cannot give you sannyas because I know your wife, I know your family. If I give you sannyas, you will go away, but I will face difficulty. Better you approach somebody else. So then Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Maharaj is better. He's senior also, very scholarly. And he has no connection with your family. So then he approached him and he said, yes, you should take sannyas. Prabhupada was having some hesitation. Prabhupada's sister also, Bhavatarini, once there was a discussion with her. She said, why do you worry? Your sons and daughter, I will take care. My son is lawyer and he has good earning. And you don't worry. You want to propagate Lord Chaitanya's mission, na? Assist your spiritual master. You go ahead. I will take care of all your children. You don't worry about all of family members. So that assurance was there from her side. And Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Maharaj also said, Abhay Babu, you want to preach. And Guru Maharaj is again and again coming in dream and saying, take sannyas. Because sannyas is only for preaching only. So your preaching will enhance by taking sannyas. You must take sannyas. And he kind of also little bit pushed. Prabhupada years later said, so he pushed me. Through him, my spiritual master only pushed me. So I was given initiation. Years later, Prabhupada also asked Bhavatarini because one of the sons, Prayagraj, was little having problems with the mind. So Prabhupada was a little angry on Bhavatarini, saying, what is this? You promised that you take care of what is happening now. She was taking care, but some other things also. So Prabhupada took sannyas, and before that so many things are there. Like his wife sold the manuscripts that he had written, Bhagavad Gita, and with the money that she got, she purchased tea and biscuits. She was eating biscuits and she was fond of tea. So Prabhupada asked her, do you want tea or me? So she, wife and husband sometimes, so she joked, me, I want tea. Like that. So Prabhupada said, that's it then. You keep drinking your tea. I am leaving home. Like that. So she thought it's okay because he was businessman. Prabhupada was businessman. Quite often he would leave his house and hometown. He would go to Kanpur, he would go to Prayagraj, here, there. Different places for business, for selling he was pharmaceutical man, pharmacist. So he would go. So she thought, okay, he will come back. Like this he keeps going. Whatever. But then 2 days passed, 3 days, 5 days, 1 month, 2 months. So they were wondering, why is he not coming? So then they ultimately found out he was in some Gaudiya mutt and he said, I am not coming. Hare Krishna. Like that. So he became Vanaprastha and eventually he took sannyas also. So Prabhupada sannyas delivered us. Thanks to that Mataji, Radharani Datta, that she chose tea and what remained was me. Prabhupada remained for us. If she would have chosen Prabhupada, tea would have remained for us. As Indians, we are fond of tea, would have been drinking so much of tea. In last, as many years we have spent in ISKCON, in these years, hundreds of liters of tea we would have consumed on behalf of that Mataji. So thanks to her, she chose tea and me remained for us. Prabhupada remained for us. Thanks to her. And Prabhupada's sannyas led to such glorious thing. He was set free for exclusive preaching. And he was such a preacher. All time, full focus, no deviation. And you can see also in his letters, years later also, it's very crystal clear. Prabhupada, even temples also, Prabhupada said no need of so many temples, so much cost and so much money and so much maintenance. Just keep preaching, distribute books. Let Krishna go in each and every house in the form of books. And let devotees Harinam Sankirtan. That doesn't mean that temples are not required. Temples are required. But then more than temples, few temples, but let every house be temple. Let every heart be temple through our preaching. If we don't preach, then only temples remain and people come. And then also we don't preach, people will don't know. And many people wonder where is the bell here. They want to ring the bell, bell is not there. So they have to be told what is the significance of bell and why the bell is not there, how it disturbs Krishna Katha, which is more important. Your ringing bell creates some auspiciousness, but hearing Krishna Katha gets complete knowledge is given for whole life. And it creates auspiciousness for whole life. Bell is there, I don't know whether you have. Sometimes we keep it very small one, like that hardly. People come in ISKCON. ISKCON temples are very peculiar temples. The bale will not be visible. Coconuts are not broken. There is no stone to break. And if you give coconut, they will not allow you to break on there. Tiles are there, marble is there, and all varieties. It's unique features we have in our temples. So we are so fortunate that Prabhupada, because of his sacrificing his family, health, money, business, he took sannyas for our sake and delivered us from the cycle of birth and death. Sure enough, we would have surely taken a lot of tea without Prabhupada. If not meat and other bad thing, at least many people are into tea drinking. Teas people are fond of. Once I went for some preaching purpose, some permission to one politician to his house. 5-6 brahmacharis went. I was there. So then he said, okay, welcome, welcome, sit here. We sat. And as soon as we sat, his wife brought tea in a tray, that what you call dish and cup, in that, like that, And then he offered us. We said, no, we don't take tea. Then wife gave tea in his hand also. He had in his hand, and she was giving, and we denied. So then he was enough. He got in his hand, and we said no. He said, take. And he said, we don't take. And then he was wondering what to do. Then he said, if you don't mind, can I take? He said, yeah, that whatever you wish to do. Like he said, see, I am a politician. So many people come to meet me in a day. So in a day, minimum 35 teas I drink. When we heard that 35, I was shocked. And this is minimum, because the people are not constant. Sometimes more people will also come, many times. Like that. So then we talked to him and we left. So much people drink tea, but Prabhupada sacrificed his tea drinking wife, and we got him. So it's glorious day. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Prabhu also told me His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj appearance day. We celebrate on Annada Ekadashi. That happened in the past. Next day of, few days later to Janmashtami. So then that was celebrated in a big way in Delhi. And here also celebration is soon to happen, 21st or so. So Maharaj, amazing personality. In his Pranati Mantra also it is Prabhupadasya Sahitya, Ye Prakashit Vitaratyashchaya. Prabhupada's Sahitya, literature, he took to heart in his life. He never read any other book of anyone. Only Prabhupada. Exclusive loyalty, full focus, super chaste person. Once he was asked by one disciple, Maharaj, could you please tell us some pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu from Chaitanya Bhagavat? So when Maharaj heard, Maharaj said, Chaitanya Bhagavat? Prabhupada has not given any commentary on that, so I have not read it. I have read Chaitanya Charitamrita, Prabhupada has given commentary. So I will tell you pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu from Chaitanya Charitamrita. And he spoke from Chaitanya Charitamrita. So he never read Chaitanya Bhagavat. So Prabhupada never gave commentary on that book. Once he was worshipping his deity in Vrindavan, in his room, and some 2-3 disciples came after attending Bhagavatam class in Krishna Balram temple. So when they came, Maharaj asked, so who was the one who gave Bhagavatam class? So they said, oh, he was very famous speaker. So then what did he speak? So they were telling little bit. Did he speak something about Prabhupada and Prabhupada books? He said, no, not much about Prabhupada and Prabhupada books. He spoke from some literature here and there. Then he said, I don't want to hear. Nothing like that. So he was completely Prabhupada's man only. And you all know about him so many things. I also had some interaction because I was a Sankirtan leader in Pune at temple. I was there in 2008 to 2013. So somewhere maybe 2009 when Maharaj came to Kunjaberi temple, old temple. So he asked, who is the Sankirtan leader here? After Bhagavatam class, I had left for ashram. So then Raishampur said, our Sundarsham Prabhu. So where is he? Could I meet him? So I was not there. So immediately Raishampur sent one devotee, go tell Sundarsham Prabhu that Maharaj wants to meet him, Sankirtan leader. So as soon as I heard, then I went, Maharaj had gone to room. So myself and my assistant, Kailash Chandra, we both went with report because Maharaj wanted to know book distribution report of Pune temple. So we are leaders, but some figures and everything. So we went in the file. So we paid obeisances and I sat at lotus feet and he was sitting on the chair. We both sat. So Maharaj said, how is book distribution going on? So I was giving report. Last year we did this much and this year this much and this is our target and marathon how it happens. Then Maharaj is GBC there and I was Sankirtan leader. So all my grievances, that's a nice opportunity because Maharaj has the power to make changes in temple. So then I said, Maharaj, here, only in marathon devotees participate, and around the year, it doesn't happen. We try to give push, but then nobody supports us, even the manager of the temple. I was complaining about the manager and all that. So he also doesn't help us, and all that. So Maharaj immediately said, see, in our Delhi temple also, only in marathon only devotees are into youth preaching, devotees are into many other things. But when marathon comes in December, they throw away all the things and then they just focus on book distribution. And other part of the year, they don't do like this. And he spoke in such an amazing way. He completely kept aside that issue of manager, am I criticizing him and all that. Because Maharaj doesn't like criticism of any devotee, especially the leaders who are serving Prabhupada's mission. So I could understand that he was adoshadarshi and he was not interested in criticizing others like that. Not just that I am for book distribution. So how can in my zone, whichever temple is there, and they are not favoring the Sankirtan leader for book distribution, I will wage a war. That kind of mentality, attitude he never had. He knew he was a very balanced person. He knew how other services are also important. And he told me, don't worry, in marathon you can have full focus. Everybody, the youth, the brahmacharis and congregation will be there for you. That is happening in marathon. I said, yes, Maharaj, that is happening. So that is okay. And around the year, other limits, little bit book distribution will go on. Other services are also important. And also he came in 1998, January, February somewhere. So then there was Sunday feast lecture he gave in Pune temple. Very few people were there and they were also like people of all varieties. And more people for prasadam. That was the trend in early days. Raisham had just taken over Pune temple. He was president for 3-4 months or so. So then Gopalkrishna Maharaj, after the lecture was over, then he called Raisham. He said, what kind of people you have in your congregation? Most of them are not educated. You are educated. Why don't you preach to educated people in Pune who could be leading ISKCON in a better way in Pune? So he said, Maharaj, and many people in Pune, here holiday is Thursday, Pimpri Chinchwad area and all that, where all companies are there, Alfa Laval and Atlas and many other companies, mechanical engineers. So that time computer engineering was not so much, 98 and all. So then they have Thursday as holiday. And here our Sunday feast lecture is on Sunday, so they have they have working day, so they cannot make it. So then he said, okay, start now Thursday feast lecture. And Raishab was shocked, Thursday feast lecture. That means this will also go on, Sunday feast lecture and Thursday feast also. And it leads to burden on financial, you have to arrange prasad on this day also, that day also. So then Raishab told me that you go to companies and tell all the employees. And I was wondering how. So he designed one pamphlet, how there is Thursday lecture and Kirtan, Arati and all that stuff. I went on cycle only, 22 kilometers. And I went, because in that area also I'll have to go company to company. So many hundreds of companies. So money was not there. I was student also. On cycle only I went all around. But it was not so easy to enter inside. They would stop, hey, who are you? You're just engineering college student. You're not even pass out. So why I want to meet HR, and they said, what for? And so this pamphlet, for all the employees. They said, you give us, we will put it. Then I was wondering whether they will give or not. So I gave one. I said, you put it on your notice board then. Let all employees. They said, that is okay. So God knows what happened, how many employees got to see whether it was put on the notice board or not, how many saw, how many literally came to temple. Whether it happened or not, but eventually our corporate preaching increased like anything, youth preaching increased, because Maharaj's desire was there. So Krishna had to fulfill. And now we have hundreds and thousands of qualified doctors, engineers, and very educated, very cultured, and very refined devotees, who are many of them are preachers, direct preachers, and they are also spreading. Once I was in Juhu temple, we were going for Rath Yatra spot, starting point. So we were waiting for some vehicle of the temple in which we students could also enter. We were in Dhoti Kurta with hair and all that. So then Maharaj was going in car from parking area. Car was coming with high speed, was going from. So Maharaj car went ahead, but Maharaj while going, he just happened to see 3-4 young boys are there. So he told the driver to take it back. So the driver stopped and he reversed it, and he came and he said, you please come here, this place in the car, you can come. I'm going for Rath Yatra only. Then we said, no, Maharaj, not required. Next vehicle is coming. No problem. We'll go in the next one. But I was wondering, he's such a GBC guru, was instrumental in making so many temples, but he did not have that ahankar. Rather, he considered us also valuable instruments in Lord Chaitanya's mission. For us, he came back and was offering us the place also. It's a very amazing personality. Many more things to say, but we physically don't have Maharaj Association, Vapu, but in Vani he is always there. His instructions are always there. The inspiration, just by remembering him, is always there. One other last thing I'll end with. Once GBC meeting was there in Juhu temple, and Gaurang Prabhu was asked to coordinate because he's into cooking and all that for Radhana Swami Maharaj Yatras also. So he had made one first class arrangement in Govinda's Juhu temple. Very high class arrangement for all GBCs, ISKCON gurus and GBCs. So then Maharaj, Gopalkrishna Maharaj was there. So he just came to see how the arrangements are. So he asked Gaurang Prabhu, are the arrangements fine? He said, yes Maharaj, see, they were taking prasad. So you also take Maharaj. He said, it's okay, not required. Then he said, no, Maharaj, you also please take. He was thinking Maharaj should also take. Let Maharaj also give remark about our cooking and all the cleanliness, etc. So Maharaj said, it's okay, okay. Again he requested, he said, Gaurang Prabhu, from 1972 till now, Lord Krishna used me, Prabhupada's mercy. I was instrumental in making 150 Govinda restaurants all over the world, but I have not eaten even once in any one of them. And Gaurang Prabhu was shocked. My God, 150 Govinda restaurants all over the world he had made, but he had not even eaten once also, like that. So when I told this in Maharaj offering Vyas Puja day in Pune, so immediately the coordinators, they got little, because in that Govinda restaurant in charge and all, they took mic after my offering. Then one disciple said, yes, Maharaj would not like brahmacharis and sannyasis to eat in Govinda restaurant, but grahasthas can take. Brahmacharis should not eat in Govinda restaurant, nor should sannyasis, but grahastha. So they all were laughing. He secured the position of Govinda restaurant and employees and top authorities. And yes, lot of income comes, but for brahmacharis and sannyasis not required. Okay, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Any question about the class? Taking shelter of Krishna's lotus feet and holy name of the Lord. No, Priyavrat had gone to one mountain for performing austerities. Uttanpad alone. Yeah. No, his all dynasty went, no, all the way they were ruling. After Uttanpad, Dhruva. Huh? Huh. Yeah. No, it's one only. Because that dynasty is over, no? All its millions of years have passed by. Uttanpad, then Dhruva ruled for 36,000 years on planet Earth. Then his son, son. They are brother, but that they are gone, na? Their period is over and they are gone. They are no more. Half the Manvantar is over. So long period, millions of years have passed by. Yes, that is true, but they live long, na Prabhu. So they live long. For millions of years, Priyavrat is performing austerities. Meanwhile, his brother is ruling, then next his son is ruling, next grandson, the dynasty. Yeah, Uttanpad is over, Dhruva is gone, back to Godhead. Yeah, they would live for millions of years. Very long span of time. Yeah, but old in age, but not necessarily in the bodily features, because of the austerities, and age was also like. How long? It's like half the Manvantar. Half the Manvantar. So 71 Chaturyuga cycles are there in one Manu's period. So you can say half of that means 35. 35 Chaturyugas were over, approximate. Long span. One Chaturyuga is 43 lakhs 20,000 years. Yes, might be because of that. Yes. Any other? Okay. We went beyond time also. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, शिला प्रभुपाद की जय, समवेत गौर भक्तवृंद की जय, विश्वरूप की जय, शंकरारण्य स्वामी की जय, शिला प्रभुपाद संन्यास ग्रहण की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदी।